Hey everyone, welcome. It's Baron, and in this video we are going to be talking about some recent news that Grinding Gear Games has released to us about upcoming content for both Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2. This video is not directly related to the series I've been releasing recently about the Arc Ignite Elementalist. I've been putting out pieces of the guide for that, but as you'll see, it has some tangential relationship to that as it applies to opportunities to League started. So, we're starting with the most recent news, which I've got on screen right now, but then I've taken this and some of the other relatively recent news that we've heard, and I've compiled that into a calendar, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. So the most recent news is regarding Path of Exile 1, and it regards the release of the next full patch, 3.26. We're currently in 3.25, so when is the next full League launch for Path of Exile? And the answer is it has been delayed into late January, but in lieu of that, there are some other things going on. So let me go ahead and pop up that calendar. Quick warning for a flashbang: if you use dark mode or if you're used to darker screens, it is going to be a lot of white and bright coming up, just the way the calendar is laid out. So fair warning. Here we go. So don't worry about what my head is covering in the lower right hand corner. There's nothing there. But here's what we've got. Less than a week from today, on November the 7th, there is going to be a relaunch of 3.25 Settlers of Kalguur League. Now don't worry if you're still playing, doing your challenges, making new characters, etc. This is not going to halt or wipe out the current league. They will run concurrently. It is just, this is an opportunity to, if you want a fresh league start, a fresh economy, everybody back on the same page, this is a place where you can do that, and they're only adding in a little bit of new content. They're adding in, and it's not even new, I suppose. It is from the previous patch, 3.24 Necropolis League. They're adding in some Lantern of Eramor modifiers. So every map, there are going to be some monster packs that have certain modifiers on them. They've taken out all the negative ones. It is only positive modifiers like dropping additional currency, stuff like that. So not really a huge change there, but it's just an opportunity for a fresh start. And that could be an opportunity, again, if you wanted to try out League starting the Arc Ignite Elementalist. Following that, towards the end of the month, probably the last week of November, from what we've heard from GGG, there will be the big one, the big live stream, reveal stream announcement of everything that's going to be going into the Path of Exile 2 Early Access release. As you may know, one of the other pieces of news is that that Early Access launch was itself delayed, so it's now taking place on December 6th, and it looks like the week prior to that, not in the week leading up to it, but the week before all that, is when we're going to get some information about, who knows, the way they make it sound, we're going to get a lot of information. So as for myself, I'm anticipating that we hear about available classes, what portions of the game are going to be available, like if there's certain parts of the end game that are still locked, if we can only do certain things, whether or not they're going to be releasing all skills, some skills, we don't know, but we're going to learn about it then. I anticipate we'll also probably learn about the monetary side of it. So we've heard that you'll probably have to purchase a supporter pack in order to get that early access. So maybe we'll hear about the price of that. We've also heard that perhaps if you have previous purchases, supporter packs, microtransactions, that kind of thing, that there might be some monetary threshold that if you've spent enough, you don't have to buy anything more to get in. I suspect that if that's going to be the case, they'll probably tell us what that amount is. So yeah, that'll be the week prior to, and then December the 6th is the Path of Exile 2 Early Access. It's a kind of open-ish beta. You can pay to participate, and that's going to go on for several months. We do not have the official duration of that, but we know that it will be several months and that they will not be releasing the full Path of Exile 2 until that is over, and they've had an opportunity to squash the bugs, make the balance changes, make the mechanic changes, all that good stuff. And as we know, that can be a complicated process, so I don't hold it against them if that takes them longer than intended. It might be, and this is why I've got that gray box over the latter half of 2025, it may be that we don't see the full release of Path of Exile 2 until late into next year. Heck, they might even make it a full year. We might be talking about holiday season 2025, so a full year of open access. We'll see. We just don't know yet. What we do know is that in the interim, we're going to get at least one Path of Exile 1 patch, and that's going to be patch 3.26. And what we know is that in the middle to end of January, we are going to get the reveal stream for that. And then it's going to be, it looks like the last week of January that patch 3.26 launches. Now, that could still be pushed back, I suppose, but I consider that relatively unlikely because this is already pushed back from when it was originally going to launch. So I doubt that it's going to be anything in the nature of, the league wasn't technologically ready to go. As long as nothing crazy goes on with Path of Exile 2 in between now and then, I think we're probably pretty safe to assume last week of January for that patch 3.26. So that would be another opportunity if you didn't participate in the Settlers of Kalguur relaunch on November 7th. Late January would be another chance to try out league starting my Archignite Elementalist. And so this is going to bring up some timing issues. So especially for if you're someone like me, I work a job, I've got a family, etc. This is a fairly concentrated amount of stuff happening in just a few month time span. So as for myself, I have to make some kind of decisions here about how I'm going to use my leave from work. A lot of that leave is going to go towards being with my family, and so I only get a bit of that to use on things like Path of Exile, and I have to be judicious. So although I definitely understand there is a compelling interest in seeing me, actually create content for the Archignite Elementalist on League Start during this November 7th event, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I really want to participate in the Path of Exile 2 early access, and I just don't know if I'm going to have enough leave to do all of those things, especially with the short notice between now and when this relaunch happens. So although I do regret that, I do wish that I was able to do that. I certainly welcome anybody else who wants to try league starting that build a week from now. That'd be great, and I'm happy to be there to walk you through it, troubleshoot any issues you run into, that kind of thing. I'm going to continue releasing the guide content so that hopefully it can be available to help you with that. But I think more likely is that I'll be taking some time off in early December to participate in the Path of Exile 2 early access. And then we'll see how end of January goes. I'll probably take at least a little time off for that too, and definitely create some content around that. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. This is what the next few months of Path of Exile content looks like. And then sometime in the middle to late of next year, we will get the full grand Path of Exile 2 launch. So yeah. Drop any speculation or questions that you might have down in the comments. And for now, thanks for tuning in, and take it easy.